Now, second story of the day. I thought this was really interesting. I am always someone that's into lyricism, deep dives, Easter eggs. I'm a huge Lupe Fiasco fan. I'm a huge MF Doom fan. You know, these type of artists always do a great job of taking my mind other places and thinking about connections I might have missed. My favorite thing about Lupe Fiasco, to be honest with you, is that I can listen to Lupe projects from 20 years ago and I still find new things. I'm that type of listener. I'm a lyrics first listener. I like things that just resonate deeply. I love Easter eggs. I think the most important thing for any artist is voice and imagination. Those are the two most important things to me. How do you sound while saying something that has been said throughout the entirety of human history, but in a brand new way? That's what I mean by voice and imagination. You know what I mean? Like there's just some small things that, you know, like some things are very difficult to talk about in a new way, right? Love. Everyone's experienced love in some capacity. It's hard to find a fresh way to talk about love, you know? The sun. Every heartbeat on this planet has seen the sun, right? But it's the way that you frame things in a brand new way. That's one of the things I love about this battle. These Easter eggs, these breadcrumbs, these allusions on the Kendrick side anyway. The triple entendres, triple quadruple entendres. And so there's a great article. I really enjoyed reading it that came out, I believe, yesterday, maybe 2 days ago, on Passion of the Weiss. Shout out to Jeff Weiss. This was written by Yusef Soror, and it's talking about the summer of Kendrick Lamar. Now, Yusef is in the rabbit hole, man. Yusef has been captured by these 4 tracks from Kendrick Lamar. He, like a lot of us, have been all up in the lyrics, you know, all up in the allusions. He talks about what's the dirt in the article and how he can't wait to see his Family Matters breakdown. I mean, this back and forth has obviously 2 titans of hip hop going head to head. But the way Kendrick put it together also felt like a murder mystery. You know what I mean? It felt like some Ridley. It's got ancillary characters. You know, you've got EP, Ebony Prince, 2K24. You've got Christopher Alvarez. You've got Snow, the weird kick streamer. You know, there's all these. You've got weird sounds at the beginning of 616 in LA that people are still trying to figure out what that is. And Yusef talks about his experience this summer, and he's gone back through all of Kendrick Lamar's music and found all these connections that make him think about different things within the context of this battle, or things that might have been referenced in this battle, or things that had been referenced before that came back in this battle that might have been missed. He really goes in. And I'm always into articles where people are really passionate about whatever they're talking about, not even just music. You know, like I picked up a new hobby this year. One of my goals this year was to pick up a hobby. I didn't have anything that I was putting my mind into consistently that wasn't connected to revenue. And so I picked up chess as a hobby. And, you know, I'm terrible. I'm awful at chess. If anybody's on chess.com, I'm jheezy4. Love to play a game. But the chess culture is what I'm really into. I like the YouTube videos. I like watching the matches. I love the language. Develop a piece, you know, blunder. You know, I think the chess theory is fascinating. It's one of the oldest games in the world, and it's just 64 squares. You know what I mean? The culture of chess is what brought me into it. Like I needed a hobby that got into it. And, you know, when people are writing about chess or making videos about chess, the passion that they have for chess, I like seeing that as well, you know, with a number of different topics. So I can see this dude's passion for this topic. And he's really eloquent in how he describes it. He gets very personal, very human, talks about where he was the night that Meet the Grams dropped and Family Matters dropped, and talking to his friends, or, you know, where he was when Not Like Us came out. And I think it was his sister and her friend. And he was just like the most excited person in the world, talking about stomp on his grave, Kendrick. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just a powerful thing. And he's from the West Coast. Now, the thing that I really like about this piece is that he offers a new theory about Kendrick's strategy for each of the tracks. Now if you remember Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, he had a crown of thorns on. There was a lot of Jesus imagery that was around that project and around that tour. And, Kendrick has been cleaning out his closet. He's been working on himself for a while. I think a lot of us felt in preparation to have to do this or to choose to do this. So Yusef takes some connections that he noticed between that and Untitled Unmastered and all the way back to Buried Alive Freestyle that's on Take Care, which is essentially his own track on Drake's album Take Care. And he puts all these illusions together. And he comes up with this theory that I actually really appreciate. So I'm going to share with you guys, and you guys tell me if it's cap. All right, so here's what he says. Kendrick Lamar approached this beef with a religious allegory, not too far removed from the thorns he bears on the cover of Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. I believe the 4 diss tracks each represent one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Euphoria is the white horse, featuring the white backdrop of the Merriam-Webster's website, and a reminder from Kendrick that this is a friendly fade. That's the cover art to Euphoria. It's a dictionary definition of Euphoria. 616 in LA is the red horse used in the book of Revelation to suggest that blood will be shed, exposing a cropped photo of a red button-up picturing a bulldog peeing on a fire hydrant, allegedly stolen from Dennis Graham's suitcase. All right, white-red. Meet the Grahams is the black horse matched with an ominous black square on DSPs, most likely a reference to the fact that George Floyd was murdered. Drake posted a black square on Instagram with no evidence of him protesting, whereas Kendrick chose to take it to the streets and was tagged in a photo with DeMar DeRozan outside a protest in LA. All right, the black horse, black square. Not Like Us is the pale horse named Death. The artwork captures a screenshot of Drake's home address on Google Maps, topped with the red, white, and black signifiers of SA offenders in the neighborhood. One of Drake's security guards was shot and injured not long after, and as the whole world chants certified lover boards, certified PDF file, Death decimates Drake's empire, potentially marking the pop star's image beyond repair. I like this theory. The colors match up. The references align well. 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. The white horse is Euphoria with the white cover art. The red horse is 616 in LA with the red cover art, essentially. Meet the Grahams is all black. That's the black horse. And Not Like Us, they put the arrows on that man's house, and they've been stomping on him all over the world. I'm going to read one more paragraph. He goes on a little bit to add more color. 616 in LA revisits Take Care's Buried Alive interlude, where Kendrick reminisces about the day he and Drake met and the conversations they had that night. At the end of that verse, that's him in the conversation, him telling me that you have to accept this lifestyle because all of that will come and it's up to you how far you're going to go with it or how much you're going to let it in. Me acknowledging that when I say, then I died, it leaves it hanging on the audience, trying to figure out where I would go. Where would I go with it? Will I let it taint me or destroy me? Or will I know how to deal with it? Although Kendrick never explicitly explains what was said that day, Kendrick continues his Buried Alive verse on 16 in LA, where he starts the song by rapping from Drake's point of view. Off-white Sunseeker at the marina. F a phantom, I like to buy yachts when I get the fever. Wine cooler spill on my white t-shirt, the sightseer. Trifecta, money, morals, and culture. That's my leisure. My visa, passport tatted, I should hub in a visa. Love that. I love that. That was my best. That was my best Kendrick impression. I'll stop right now. Right? At first glance, the theory sounds like a long shot, but it was confirmed the same day when Drake released Buried Alive Interlude Part 2 on his Instagram. That track was almost completely overlooked, right? So, yeah, it's true. I mean, Kendrick was rapping from Drake's perspective. I like this. I like this theory. This is a great piece. You guys should check it out. I'll put a link to it in the description. But the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse as the approach feels in line with the experience and also the imagery that's tied to these tracks to me. You know, it kind of went in that order. I say it all the time. I feel like Drake could have avoided all of this if he was just a better person. If he doesn't talk about Whitney, if he doesn't talk about Top Dog, you know, if he doesn't, you know, he's the first person to bring allegations into this battle on Tailor-Made Freestyle. Kendrick gave him a chance. He said, yo, we can keep this a friendly fade. And he came back, Drake comes back again, disrespects his mom, says he's talks about Whitney, says he's abusive to his wife, says his best friend is the father of his child. All he had to do was be a better person, man. And shout out to Youssef for this piece, because pointing out this Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse thing, that's a fresh thought for me. It's a really fresh thought for me. Let me know what you guys think about this. Take a look at it. It's a really interesting read, man. It's really fun. I like people, I like when people are really passionate about things, whatever they're passionate about. He's extremely passionate about this beef, and I like what he's offered to this conversation. My name is Justin Hunt. Like and subscribe to the channel. Follow @TheCompanyMan on everything. It's all happening.
Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. The mathematical breakdown of this mighty game of rap we in. It's boom bapping. Systematical culture views, it's radical, it's all happening. Shaking hands and dapping it. Life through the lens of hip hop, from trip hop to yes, y'all, you don't stop, you don't stop. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. It's all happening, yes, it's all happening. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. It's all happening, yes, it's all happening.